Okay, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yusri.
Hi, my name is Ian.
And we're going to talk about BMX today. So, talking about BMX, in the playground, is aftermarket parts allowed in the first place or not?
Okay, so for us, most of the races we will allow. We have we understand where the races are coming from. So for most of our race, we allow unless it's an official event that requires all to be original parts. Then we'll make a announcement on it. And I think it is also best that wherever you are playing at, you should always check with your organizers, is it allowed or not allowed first before you enter a competition. So at least there will be no argument later on saying yes and no. Yeah.
So I think coming from this, right, I mean, I played for quite a while. I understand that some parts are really hard to get. I mean, if for me, right, I know kind of a hoarder myself. I know a certain part is useful, I will grab a lot of it. That would deprive some racers from getting parts on their own. So also, I feel that our local distributor did not stock a lot of these original parts. So kind of other place, maybe like for example Thailand, Taiwan, or maybe China, they get more of these parts easily available compared to Singapore for this case. So my take is, check with your organizer. If your organizer say aftermarket part is allowed, as long as it looks the same, it look and feel the same, I would say. Let's say it's a 1.5mm fully cowl and you use a 1.5mm fully cowl aftermarket part, I think it's fine. I mean, I'm a racer myself, so I feel that yes, some things really hard to get, and you can use aftermarket parts so that you can join the race with everybody else. So there is, if you talk about quality, personally I feel the quality cannot match with the original parts. The original carbon is slightly more flexible and they break less often compared to the aftermarket ones. So the aftermarket ones, we call it brittle. They take one impact and they break off quite easily. So if you talk to me saying aftermarket is better, no, not really. Coming for myself, I don't think aftermarket is that much better than original. Of course, your pocket is more happier if you use aftermarket.
So what happens is that by allowing these new players with a smaller budget, they are able to kick off this hobby with at least they start buying a car kit and they start this hobby, as opposed that they feel that it's too expensive, because certain parts, when it's a limited run and it's out of production, and let's say if it's really useful, it can skyrocket from maybe the initial retail price of like maybe $12-13 all the way to $40 for just a piece. And usually for a car you will need like about 8 to 10 pieces, so it will be really very costly. So we have also seen a lot of players who came in, they started off using aftermarket parts, and slowly they understand, they also love the brand, and they also see the difference in quality, and they start to buy into more of the original carbon, which is good, because that is where the brand loyalty kicks in and they understand the difference in quality. And I think that apart from the carbon parts, most of the other items are, most people will use the original brand, like your gears, your motors, your shafts, your weights. A lot of all these have difference in quality when it's original. Like your rollers, the bearings, they all spin differently. So using original parts gives you more consistency, and also where to counter the issue in your car.
I think coming from this, right, I saw feedback before. Recently there's a shortage in Super FM chassis. So this is one of them, right, that the cost becomes so high that you players cannot buy them. It makes no sense to buy one chassis for like $50. It's like
some even 70 now. Yeah, they're selling in group chats. $70.
It's ridiculous. I tell you, SFM users steer away from SFM. I just use FMA. They're so much better. I don't know why people want to play SFM. Anyway, the problem is there is SFM aftermarket. We know this exists, but I tell you, the quality is different. First thing, the hose don't line up. If you try to use Tamiya parts, right, especially the roller stays, Tamiya roller stays hose are very unique. I think their hose is about 2.1 or something, not exactly 2 mm. So aftermarket parts, they are always super tight tolerance, very difficult to mount. Then you use a aftermarket chassis, then you get a very weird chassis flex, and then you start to blame the chassis, but actually blame yourself lah. Why you go and use such a weird chassis in the first place? Oh, sorry SFM, it's really weird. But then we come to weird things. I think Ian come across more weird things on aftermarket parts. Maybe you can share some of them.
So in terms of, yes, we do allow players to use aftermarket parts during most of our races here, but we have a condition, which is to be fair to players who use the original parts, is that your width, your dimension, and the look of it has to be the same. So there are some of them who we have for the roller screws, we call it the cap screw, which is the most important. We have racers who goes to other shops to buy in weird lengths, like 40 mm height. So that gives a major disadvantage to those who follow by the rules. There is only 25 and 30 mm. So
for cap screws.
Cap screws. So if you use a 40 mm cap screw, you're putting others at a big disadvantage, and the original part does not have this length. So even if they try all ways and means, they cannot match up to the setup. So this is a big no from us, because we choose to protect those who play original. First is because of the brand. Second is, one day when you are the one that is following the rules and you are being at disadvantage, only then you all will feel the burn and the pain from it. Also, there are many places around Singapore or wherever they sell even FRPs, the carbon plates that is in 3 mm thickness.
I mean, it's stock 3 mm, not glued together.
Correct. So, like example, your fully cow is only meant to be 1.5 millimeters in thickness. But aftermarket brands, to make work easier, to cut it short, they cut from a 3 millimeters board straight, the same shape.
That's not allowed.
To show that it's the same as you buy 2 pieces and you glue it. But now the strength is totally different, and also gluing 2 carbon pieces takes some skill. So if you can't glue it well, the strength is not there. So if you were to buy off the shelf one whole piece, it is definitely not fair. So in general rule of thumb, any parts, any dispute, we always let the players know. As long as you can prove to us that this part comes from any of the packaging, then I think we are good to go. But if you can't find, then there will be an issue with it. So that is our general rule of thumb, to be fair to all players who abide by the rules, and because if not, you will have like a fully cow that is extended in length, or that it just doesn't fit into any piece. Then that will be very unfair to the racers, because if this is the case, then there will be no regulation. Anyone can just cut any shape and form any pattern that they want.
Okay, so speaking of 40 mm screw, if you really want a long screw, just use the threaded shaft lah. That one is 38 mm.
It's heavier, but I mean, if you really need the
Yeah,
extra,
if you really need the length lah.
like,
Okay, I guess that's about everything we need to talk about. So maybe we catch Ian in the next time. If we have, also drop us a comment if you have any questions, or just call him. He's always free. Alright, we see you again next time.
okay, see you.
Bye bye.
Bye.